Okay, Toxic's 1532, Retals is 1551. Now, I think Toxic's underrated there. He should be rated higher. But I think Retals can easily rank higher than this as well. Alright, here we go. Third time lucky. Hey, there we go. Okay. We're off. Look at this already. A decent kickoff for Retals, but Toxic narrowly wins out the race to the back corner boost. That wasn't too far off being a big win for Retals though. Ball just didn't sit pretty for him. But yeah, I talked a lot in the pregame about Toxic's world-class kickoffs. There's other elements of his game that are up there with the best in the world as well. And you saw one aspect right there. He can absolutely launch flicks like very few players in the world can. So Retals is going to need to shadow just a little bit further back than he's used to if he decides that a back-off defensive strategy is what he's going to go for. I think it probably will be a fairly substantial part of Retals' defensive play, the full shadow fake challenge kind of play. I expect to see that a fair bit from him. Oh, look at that from Toxic. Lovely little wobble dash. There are a lot of names. I'm going to run this by you guys. So, a lot of names. Oh, great save from Toxic as well. A lot of names being suggested for these kind of little wave dash moves that a lot of players are doing these days. Notably Zapatos and NA, but a lot of players all around the world are starting to find new ways to reliably pull off advanced wave dash mechanics in high level ones. And yeah, some people like to call the wave dash where you land and then use the little fall as a way to rock your car up into a position you can wave dash from. Some people want to call that a wave. What is it called again? There's some casters want to call it a wave land because wave land is something in Smash Melee, and obviously Smash Melee is a game that wave dash the term came from. Apparently wave land is another thing in that game in Melee. I don't watch enough Melee to know that, but press 1 in chat if I'm correct so far. I'm trying to get this all right. Wave land. 1, okay, that'll do. Somebody's confirmed it. I like that. They probably just typed 1 because they've got a 1 on their keyboard, but I'll take it. Oh my, well, that's a bit of a fortuitous bounce for Toxic, but you'll take it. Yeah, because I don't think he knew much about that one. He did get the reset, but his car kind of jumped off the ball before going for the flip, so he didn't get what he wanted there. He accidentally, I think, jumped off the ball and then flipped into nothing. Of course, his jump still impacted the ball slightly. But yeah, Waveland. I'm not backing Waveland personally. I think Waveland sounds more like a water park than a Rocket League mechanic. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've never watched enough Smash Bros. Melee. Yeah, some people, I think other casters call it a land dash, which again, I don't know if land dash is a good one. It just sounds like somebody making a dash for like land after jumping out of a life raft near the beach. You know, I don't know. None of these sound intuitive to me. So I'm just gonna say that from now on, I hereby decree that the only sensible name is to call it a wibbly dash or a wobbly dash. If you're not calling it a wibbly wobbly dash, then you're just casting Rocket League incorrectly. But no, jokes aside, it's a wave dash. Yeah, it's a wave dash. Wobble dash is fine. I don't know if it is. All right. Retals is definitely having a little bit of a problem here with Toxic's kickoff. Retals has tried to push it from the outside, Toxic's goal side, and flips really, really hard to the inside. So yeah, that's a bad combination for Retals. Yeah, this is better. He's not conceded directly, but still advantageous position for Toxic, and he looks like he's lining up a big flick. Just a slight angle is all he needs. There it is. Oh, not much Retals could do about that one. The indication that he's going for a big flick is just the smallest angle in the dribble. That's all he needs to make it happen. Great work in the near post by Retals to get his third goal of the game. And that's what Retals is going to need to look out for. He's going to try and spot those flicks before they happen. is look for Toxic just steering slightly away from the center of the goal. If he's going straight down the center of the goal, then he's maybe setting up for a pop bump, air dribble bump, something of that variety. Oh, look at that from Retals. This is a fantastic play. These kind of plays are so underrated in ones, but it's a complete read, a hard mind game. Fakes the 50-50, forces Toxic to flip into the ball by himself, and instead of getting the 50-50 deflecting into the corner like Toxic intended, it just goes into the center of the box for Retals to score. And Retals wanted a piece of that ball, didn't get it, but Toxic, oh, he is going to slot it in. I thought he might not be able to score, but he's done well here. That was careless for Retals. Oh, he didn't need to do that. He could have probably jumped and then flipped into the boost and had a much safer sequence. Relying on Toxic to just bail in that position, not reliable. Toxic's definitely going to stick around there occasionally. It's good vision by Toxic to spot the early challenge from Retals coming. Retals with 1:30 to go, certainly likely to up the aggression. Fantastic control by Toxic, but where's all the boost gone? Not a lot left after that. Air dribble to the back corner. And what's Retals got in store? Beautiful wave dash to steer the ball towards the bottom corner. And his boost-starved opponent unable to generate the same kind of acceleration. Great control by the American. Head to the ward. Thanks to the 5 gifted subs, by the way. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the channel. All of the randomly gifted subs, be sure to thank Ed to the ward. And thanks as well to Sharpie92 for the 8-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is NA server. I figured NA server would be more fair because I have casted Toxic versus North American players on NA servers before, and he's had some success, so this is something he's familiar with. Also, I'm pretty sure, in fact I'm confident, that Toxic gets better ping to US East than Retals does to Europe, so this is the matchup that makes the most sense. The server that makes the most sense. Oh, well, we've got a tie here in a very interesting situation, very weird situation. Was Toxic expecting some kind of air dribble bump initially there? Because he flew away with a ton of momentum. He couldn't slow himself down to stop the ball before it crossed the line. Luckily, he's still got that monstrous kickoff to fall back on, and a big shot to follow it up as well. Retals trying to get back to the ball after landing quickly, but not quickly enough. You know, I don't hate this play by Retals. Just needed a bit more pace. And he would have got there. Maybe could have flipped a split second sooner, of course. He needed to disguise his intentions as long as possible. So it's a very difficult position to be in. You don't want to flip too early and just signify to your opponent exactly what you're doing. You don't want to flip too late and not make it. Yeah, this is NA server. Toxic 84 ping. I think 80 to 90 ping is what he tends to get on good US East servers. Toxic with a 1-goal lead, but Retals got somewhat of a shot on target. If he demoed Toxic there, that would have been game. Or it would have been tie game, sorry, is what I mean to say. Toxic just manages to escape, and I think should be able to grind this. Oh, never mind. Look at this from Retals. He gets one more shot on target. He's maybe going to keep this up as well. Toxic denies it and wins game 1, but definitely a close one. I'm pretty happy with the way this match is going so far. It's kind of frighteningly accurate to what you would expect, in fact. Kind of frighteningly accurate. You know, a couple of dominant kickoff goals for Toxic, as I, mentioned at the start. I think I'm very worried if we put this on EU. I think we'd see a lot of those. Even on NA, Toxic's able to make a few happen. We saw the monster flick being threatened a few times, and apart from that, just a very even match. So that's for me the difference in game 1. It's just the kickoff being stronger for Toxic, the flick being stronger for Toxic, but positionally and when it comes to boost management and ball pressure, Retals has definitely got a high-level game to work with here. He's got to be careful in these positions. Well, he managed to turn that one around pretty quickly. It was Retals who was being threatened for on the receiving end of a demo. And he managed to get away and say, somebody call an ambulance, or actually in this instance it would be somebody call a pickup truck. Not for me. As you know, I mentioned, here we go again. Listen, some people skip through videos. You've got to say it, otherwise they're not going to go back and check and see the foreshadowing. The amount of people these days who just skip to like game 2, 3 or whatever in a video, and they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch from here. Just want to watch the exciting games. Game 3 is like a very common game in a best of 5 for people to skip to. And if you don't tell people, like, actually, so in game 1 you would have known this, in game 2 you would have seen this, and they're not going to be like, wait a minute, maybe I missed something worth watching, and go back and watch it in the first place. I've got to remind you guys sometimes that I do actually know what I'm talking about. In 1v1 at least. 3v3, nobody's got a clue. Like, literally nobody knows anything about threes in Rocket League. Not a single caster, coach, analyst, player, Psyonix Esports employee knows a single thing about threes. It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible to predict that game mode. Just flip a coin, and your coin flip bracket will probably do as well as your actual predictions. But for 1v1, I would be shocked if a coin flip like bracket did better than my actual predictions. I'm sure you guys would as well. I'm sure you'd be confident in your actual ones predictions being better than a coin flip bracket. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous from Retals. He had a recovery on the back of this as well, so he's far from all in. The beauty of backflip flicks is that you don't lunge forward. Your car stays where it is, roughly. And, oh, that's not a clean half flip from Toxiic. He actually went the wrong way there. Not sure if he's comfortable half flipping both ways, but definitely should be, as all pro players should. But he actually half flipped to the outside and then took a longer time turning. Oh, look at this. Huge pre-flip off the back wall from Toxiic. The Retals could do absolutely nothing about it. He's completely boost starved, but what a shot that is from Toxiic either way. Only Gregan, only Gibbs knows the three. Listen, nobody knows threes. You just think Gregan knows threes because he's got a posh accent. He's clueless. Gibbs would be the first person to tell you he doesn't know anything about three. Nah, I'm joking. I have to stop. At some point, like, somebody's actually going to get offended on someone else's behalf. I'm thinking being serious here. But no, threes is extremely unpredictable. It is extremely unpredictable. Adge? What? How did we get Adge? I filled my thing for... I finished my thing for this month. How did we get Adge? That doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second, guys. I've got to type something in chat for all the people with Adge. Not sure how we got Adge. Ad incentive is finished for this month. It's done. I only had like a super short ad incentive. Super short. I don't stream enough to get a long one. Wait, my bad. That was my mistake. It's November now? Yeah, my ad incentive is like stream for 10 hours. It's nothing. Logan Lair, thanks to the 2-month tier 1. Rocky Punk, thanks to the 5-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Retals has really upgraded his kickoff in this match. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. He's decided to just stay more goal side, and this is well, it's probably the most fundamental thing about kickoffs. Just make sure that when you hit the ball, you're between the ball and your goal, or between the ball and the center of your goal. Fakes the in and out save here. Toxiic still able to steer it past him. I feel like this is sort of as much of an all-in move as actually going for an in and out save. You know, if Retals goes for this, he needs to commit. He has to point himself at the ball and just go for it there. But he didn't turn around fully before flipping, and that left him a bit stranded. But yeah, Retals is definitely a good ones player. He actually came up as a ones player. I don't know if everybody watching knows this, but he first made a name for himself as a ones player. What a save that is from Toxiic. Well, Retals must have thought that was a goal when he had that line up for the flip reset. Not for the flip reset, sorry, for the air double demo. But Toxiic managed to get it stopped. Even turned around the possession on his opponent as well. Toxic's proving very hard to demo, and still Retals is trying because he's not losing out on position. too many times, and now he catches him. So I think this is fine. You know, even if your opponent is dodging a ton of demos, as long as you're not losing position, losing boost, and losing the ball to chase after these demos, makes perfect sense to keep going for them. And I would expect Retals to do exactly that, just to keep looking for them. Oh, well, that's a miss. And it's on the inside of the post as well. So Toxic throwing away a chance for an equalizer there. Still plenty of time left in the game. However, jumps past the ball. He wants to get some kind of off-the-wall play started here, but the first touch lacking 2 times in a row. Retals calmly waiting to see what Toxic's doing here. He picks up the ball for himself. Toxic turns early. Didn't have a lot of boost there. I think Retals is expecting Toxic to go for the back corner boost and then turn, so that's a good little surprising turn there from Toxic. Turn a bit earlier, and again, I think Retals probably anticipating Toxic to go all the way to his back corner. Toxic turning earlier, has the flip reset, chips it over him, and will tie the game this time. It's a defended net, but he puts it in over the top of Retals at close range. Now, Toxic has got the stronger kickoff overall today. Retals needs to be careful. He goes directly goal side. That's so smart of Retals to cover the most dangerous angle. Toxic, even with low boost, still able to be deadly and lethal at times with the flick game. What do we need to see to now point rally in a match? I could ask them, but I've not seen them online too much recently. Retals boost start still. Wants to keep the pressure on. Toxic intelligently steers the ball to the back corner. And he has a reset to the bottom corner of Retals' net now. A little wave dash bump, but Retals going to turn around and fight fire with fire. And wins the mid boost for himself. First touch gets the attack started quickly. Retals off the big bounce dribble, hooks it on target, and this is just a smart play from Retals to finish it off. Knew that time was of the essence. If he's going to get a shot off before Toxic can position in an area where he can either challenge the ball or shadow, Retals fires into the top corner. Simple, effective, and we've got a tie series. There it's all about making sure your first touch is quick and on, well, in the correct direction. If Retals hits that first touch straight at the goal, the attack is done. If he hits it sideways, the attack is going to take too long. Of course, I mean relative to the pitch. If he hits it towards the sidewall opposite him, the attack's going to take too long. Toxic will close the distance, either challenge, fake a challenge, or get in a position to shadow. But with the first touch there, Retals was able to steer the ball just slightly off target in a way that allows him to catch up to it way before Toxic can get in position and fire a big shot on target. Retals has greatly improved his ones game. Yeah, he's honestly, he's solid. I mean, he knows what he's doing. I think the areas in ones where Retals needs improvement, it's pretty much just all of the, you know, huge mechanical plays. You know, these days, if you're not comfortable, you know, hitting a double reset every time, then there's something lacking from your game. It's kind of crazy to say. I mean, I've seen Retals double reset before, but can he do it off any bounce, any wall dribble? You know, probably not. I don't think he's going to do that most of the time, because he'd rather play within like what he's capable of doing every time. He's such a great positional player, such a good player at pressuring his opponent and spacing the ball as well, that you'll likely see him mostly play for the ground game and supplement that with every now and then aerial offensive plays. But yeah, he's just positioning his way around Toxic here. Toxic might try and counter-attack here. Yes, he will. Great stuff. Oh, he's missed the shot. He, you know, deserved to finish that one off, because the first touch was fantastic. Completely caught Retals out of position, looking for a boost steal at the wrong time. He has had a few issues with accuracy today. Oh, Retals missed the boost steal here. Both players briefly on zero. He steals the boost to the far side, though. Toxic forced to play the ball to him. Now here we go for the big aerial play from Retals. Wants to double tap, and he gets the double tap, knowing that there is a strong chance that he could 50-50 this one in, even if Toxic was there to save it, which it looks like he was. So good job, Toxic, at least forcing the dunk on the last split second of that shot. But even better job by Retals to go for that double tap on a boost starved opponent. It's the best time to go for double taps in once on a boost starved opponent, because you're not going to need to worry about them recovering quickly. If they even get up and save the shot and survive the following few seconds, or the following few split seconds I should say, because oftentimes a zero boost defender trying to save a double tap is going to get demoed or going to get dunked on, as we saw there. Even if that doesn't happen, not like they're going to recover it all that quickly anyway. Toxic trying the last second lunge underneath the ball to pop it on target. We saw one failed pogo attempt earlier from TRK. Now we've seen Toxic try the most simple of the simple variation. He fails it as well. It really is, I think, the new meta that hasn't yet fully occurred. We're still waiting for every player at the top tier to pogo successfully. Toxic delays his flick this time. Bit of a slower setup. The rebound is slow. Unfortunately for him, too slow. And Retals will counter again. Now Retals is just making it difficult for Toxic to score. He's not had the full goal covered on every single one of Toxic's attacks, but he's had most of the goal covered at times and a lot of the goal covered at others, and that just forces perfect shooting out of Toxic. And whenever Toxic doesn't shoot perfectly, hits the bar, Retals is there to run the ball into the open net. And now, when Toxic makes a bit of an overextension into his back corner for boost, Retals is there. He's just there every time the Toxic slightly mispositions, whether it's to catch him out with a demo and a landing on the end of a flip, or if it's just to try and catch him out when he overextends. Love that from Retals. Just a threatening play with a backup plan to get into the midfield if it doesn't work. And there's a great dodge there, a little reverse move there from Toxic to get out of the way. Even though it worked, Retals is still in full control, and he demos Toxic at the tail end of an air dribble this time. 5-1. This is the best passage to play Retals has had. He went for that as well. He leaned into it at the last second. Bored Daddy, thanks to the Prime. Welcome to the channel. Also, Virgil, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Still time for Toxic. He's got the kickoffs necessary to create 4 chances in very, very short periods of time. Even if Retals is trying to nullify that. Toxic wanted the pinch there. Retals backed off with full respect for it. Oh, look at this. Retals is just placing it. And you can understand why Toxic would lunge into the middle of the goal there, expecting a shot to go to that side. But Retals knows, no, it's all about the near post, because even if Toxic saves that, he's not going anywhere. But if I fire that far post and he lunges across the goal to save it, suddenly Toxic's got the ball. Retals is all about control here. He's just composed and calmly closing out a strong position, a very strong lead. What has Toxic got left in the tank? He knows that Retals is faking a lot of challenges here. Checks over the ball to make sure that he's not coming. Even with that knowledge, unable to get the shot on target. 7-1. Retals denies him one more time. What trail is Toxic using? I've not noticed it myself. Retals is peeking. I don't think he's peeking. I think this is just what Retals play looks like. I think this is a standard play for Retals. He's a very positional player. He's very confident in his ability to shadow defend and to just find that sweet spot between his opponent and his own goal. You know, where he can just park himself, just, you know, say, this is where I'm at. If you're going to score, you're going to need to put it past me. I'm not getting out of the way. I'm not going to riskily dive in. He's been very good at noticing moments when he can assert his authority as well. This is a comfortable win. Truly a very comfortable win for Retals. He denied Toxic too many realistic chances on net, and even the chances Toxic did get, Retals was there to play a part in them. Not going to give him anything here. I think this is smart from Retals to deny the attempted sort of freestyle flick there at the end of the game. You don't want to give Toxic anything to up his confidence. You're dominating him right now. You've got full control, and with 2 games in a row as well, you've got to think that he's now the heavy favourite to win this one. Retals is the strongest game sense of anybody. That's how he keeps up with a mechanical player. I mean, Retals is I don't know why people are saying like, or acting like Retals isn't mechanical. I see this a lot in threes, in ones. Well, what I mean is in threes fans, ones fans, a lot of people say he's not mechanical. Like, what is the bar? Who's the bar for average mechanics these days? Like, how mechanical does a player need to be before they're considered mechanical? Because yeah, obviously if we're making the bar like Joyo, First Killer, then yeah, Retals isn't as mechanical as First Killer or Joyo. But then neither is 90% of the pro scene. But there are, there's some mechanics that you guys just, I guess, forget about. Some people think mechanics just means air rolling and flip resetting, and anything else doesn't count. But I think, just being able to hit a ball really hard, there's a reason why all of the most mechanical players appear to be the players who can reliably hit the ball extremely hard. I mean, okay, chat. Tell me which players consistently hit the ball the hardest in the world of 1v1 historically. What names come to mind when I say who hits the ball the hardest? Who absolutely slams the living daylights out of the ball every time they touch it? Yeah, First Killer, great shout. Daniel, another great shout. Appjack, honestly Appjack not as known for it as the other two I mentioned. Khaled, I mean, some positions, yeah, but I wouldn't say like from everywhere. I think you're probably just saying Khaled because back in the day, yeah, he'd generate way more power on bounce dribble shots than anyone else. But I'm just talking about, in general, when somebody tries to hit the ball hard as possible, how hard are they actually hitting it? It would be really cool to see like a percentage, when a player tries to hit the ball as hard as they can, what percentage of power are they actually getting compared to what's possible in the position. Yeah, those are the first two names that really come to mind, I think. Probably Ahmad is another one. I think First Killer, Daniel, Ahmad. I swear every time they hit the ball, it moves faster. So, yeah. What else can you say about those three players? Would you say that those players are mechanical? I would. Like ball striking, like striking the ball as hard as you can, is all about timing. It's all about precision. It's all about min-maxing to the utmost with your air roll, with your dodge, and with your angle of approach, with your speed. It is a completely mechanical thing, but a lot of people don't consider like how clean someone strikes the ball, how mechanical. But it is. It's mechanics. Probably the most fundamental mechanic in Rocket League, just hitting the ball hard when you want to. So, if you ever run into a pro player in a like Rocket League tournament or like an in-game tournament, or if you run into them in a casual match or whatever, you'll notice that they hit the ball a lot harder than you think is possible in many positions. Many positions you'll be thinking, okay, yeah, I've got the goal covered, and then bang, the ball's in your net. You're like, wait, what? How did he hit it into the top corner from there in that time frame? Yeah, good players, pro players hit the ball ridiculously hard. So, yeah, you've got to look at things like that as well. It's not just about flip resets. It's not just about air rolling. It's about hitting the ball as well, reliably hitting the ball, and not just hard. Also, like hitting it softly when you want to hit it softly. Talking to Appjack about this in stream the other day. First touch, underrated mechanic. Just controlling the ball perfectly with the first touch, very hard to do. And I mean perfectly. Extremely hard to do. Now, I'd like to thank our players Toxiic and Retals here for providing me the perfect gameplay to go in this discussion on, because it is 1-1 with 2 minutes left. We're watching two football teams, and both of them are running no strikers. Their formations are 5-5-0. Both of them. They have no one up front, and they've just been waiting for someone else to make a mistake, and it hasn't happened. Toxiic trying to be careful here. He's got to be extremely careful against Retals. Hey, who said he's not mechanical? Who said he's not mechanical? Stand up, all of you. Get in the naughty corner. Put on your dunce hat. How about that? Retals has just peaked on Toxiic with a beauty. I mean, that was everything you could ever want from a mechanical goal. It was deceptive. It was creative. It was powerful. It was unsavable, really. And now, Retals is just in the final minute, potentially, for winning his third straight game. Never mind, Toxic's equalizing. Okay, I spoke too soon. Toxic's away. I spoke too soon. That was not good. Oh dear. Spot the Space Station Gaming fan who's still got a chip on his shoulder about Retals. That wasn't good. Arsenal would have done it even better. Listen, nobody cares, nobody asked. It was a mechanical play. Retals is more mechanical than people give him credit for. Oh, what a boost seal. How on earth he got that? It really looked like Toxic was going to get it, but somehow Retals just committed daylight robbery. Actually, Manfield night robbery, I should say. Still on the boost, but to no avail. Toxic shows him why shadowing close and putting pressure might be a mistake against his flick game. See, Retals is trying to get behind the ball. He's trying to conceal his position and then give himself chances to turn and challenge or reverse challenge or just generally put pressure on the ball because the opponent doesn't know where he is. And it's dangerous to do that against this guy. Toxic, one of the best flicks in the game. If you're going to shadow that close, you're just going to concede every now and again against it. Why do I see my name? Sorry, Arsenal, I might have made a bit of a call out on... I'm accusing somebody of being... listen, I think Retals scored a mechanical goal and somebody said it wasn't that good, so I'm just guessing that they're a Space Station fan. Yeah, I'm putting two and two together here. If you're in denial that a mechanical goal is mechanical, a Retals goal, it's got to be an SSG fan. I don't even know why they care though. I don't think the players care. Like, why do the fans care? That's your alt. Oh, that's fantastic. I do wonder actually, how many pros do you think are just in chats in general? How many pros, how many Rocket League people are just like in Twitch chats in the Rocket League section, just like trying to get the streamer's opinion on them through like advanced questioning? That just made me think it's probably quite often. Like, you've just got you know, some pro on his burner account on Twitch, and he'll come into chat and be like, at Johnny Boy, NRG are trash, just to like try and make me talk bad about NRG. And it's just one of the NRG players like, yeah, I bet he's gonna do it. I bet he's gonna do it. He wants to do it. Yeah, there it is. made him say it. The truth is out. It's always very suspicious when there's just like random messages like this. Although that one I've not seen. Not seen. I think is it just me or are people? Maybe I'm wrong. I mean NRG fans definitely not. But is it just me or like the hardcore Rocket League community going a bit easier on NRG recently? Because I think most of the hardcore Rocket League communities kind of lowered their expectations of NRG. Like with NRG, it used to be like if NRG don't win an event, everybody would say they're trash, they're chalked, they're washed. And now if they, you know, finish 4th or 5th or something, people would be like, NRG's back. So that to me looks like the expectations have gotten lower. However, NRG, I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of NRG fans who are like, not anything less than a dub is an L, so you guys are trash whenever they lose, which is a shame. But it's kind of what you expect though. I don't think anyone should be surprised, and I don't think the NRG players would be surprised that they get a lot of hate, because the more popular you get, the more love you get, but also the more hate you get. You're never going to get one without the other. Oh, did I forget to change the scores? Sorry, I thought I did that. Oh, I did. I just forgot to press update. I changed it to a 2 and then I just didn't click confirm. But yeah, we're in game 5 here. Retals took games 2 and 3. Dominated game 3 actually, but Toxiic just tried to reel in the aggression a little bit. He realized that he was overextending and playing right into Retals' game plan. And this is working out a little better for him. He's just taking his time. He's not forcing the issue. He's just letting his mechanics do the talking. So I think when it comes to speed... Oh no. Oh no, Rails, you can't do this. I said you got mechanics, bro. You can't do this. You're making me look so clueless. So clueless. Like, oh no, dude. This is not good for you or for me. Like, I defended this guy's mechanics adamantly. It says sense change, no problem. Wait, did Toxiic just think about giving him a goal back or something? Because he probably read that and he's like, oh, this is probably like him telling me that the controller DC'd or something. Then he reads sense change. Whoops. I think Retals was trying to say there that, no, don't give me a goal back. I just beamed it. It's just I've changed my controls and I messed up. On me. But yeah, that's another, underrated mechanic. Just power sliding in the right place. Something that apparently Retals needs to work on. But he's got the flip not the flip resets. Why am I calling it double bumps flip resets tonight? I'm losing my mind. Adam L. Bunch, thanks to the Prime, and also Toti Gun, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Welcome back. Rhett, the editor, thanks to the 51-month, actually, Tier 1. Sorry, while I was looking at all that, did Toxiic just half-flip on the kickoff? I think he did. Oh, no. Retals has lost the plot. He's missing open net by a couple of miles there, but it's fine. He's got the bump on the back wall. I mean, this is actually the kind of game that would trigger so many fans in RLCS. Like, imagine your favorite team are getting bumped and demoed by this other team who can't even hit an open net. Like, people would get so annoyed watching this. I'm just reading the chat. There's so much random... Retals is quite a divisive character, it would seem. Some people just live to criticize Retals. Is that a thing these days? Is it a thing? Probably is. Probably is a thing, unfortunately for him. And yeah, I heard that CJ's got G2 and NRG to test the CJ show buff. Listen, if the CJ show buff works for G2 and NRG, then it's actually scripted. Like, that would be crazy. If they can finish both of them top 4. Then you've got one in Gen G phase and V1 SSG. 2 of them actually not in top 4. Furia as well. Oh, that's a great shot. Great shot from Toxiic. Hardly any run up. I'm sorry, Retals. I'm gonna watch this replay again. Look at that run up from Toxiic. Bang. Retals expecting a shot to the other side of the goal. Suddenly it's in the top corner. Should Chicago retire? Hey, spot Chicago's burner, everybody. Write it down. There he is. He's trying to figure out if he likes me or not. I'm probably going to get so many of these comments now that I've mentioned that. I should not have said this. Amongst other things I shouldn't have said in today's stream. I'm going to get so many people like responding to out of context clips from this stream. It's not good, I'm telling you. Oh, that's dirty. Oh, what a shot by Toxiic. Lean back reset. And then the flick double from close range. You've got to be so precise with that one. If you go a bit too high, it's just a goal for Retals. And now it's a 3-4 game, sorry. But even with just a 2-goal lead, he's confident to make that play work. Retals darts away to the corner to get the boost. But Toxiic plays the ball and slots in his 6th goal. Oh yeah, I saw a comment on there's this Reddit thread about like, oh, what should we call all these moves in Rocket League? Some people call lean back reset the Arsenal reset, and some people call it Seiko reset. There was a comment on Reddit saying Arsenal has been doing that since before Seiko was even on the scene. So obviously we know what we should call it. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, did this guy know about Seiko before like maybe Fall Major? I bet Fall Major last season was when that guy in particular got introduced to Seiko. Probably. But no, it's actually very... I mean, I wish we had access to every replay of every ranked game that ever happened in Rocket League. So then you could actually go back and check who did it first. That'd be really cool. But Seiko's been doing that for a long time. And everyone in the EU, all the top level players, were calling it the Seiko reset because of that. And I think everyone in NA is calling it the Arsenal reset because he was doing it. So I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done and just not call it after either of them and just call it what it looks like. It's a lean back reset. Nice little pinch celebration goal there for Toxiic. He's closed it out here in style. I think just a small adjustment to be a bit more defensive in the matchup. Well, maybe not even a bit more defensive, but definitely a bit less careless in the matchup. Tried to really force the issue in games 2 and 3. Tried to just go out there and score with every possession play against a player who wants you to do exactly that. I mean, Retals wants you to go all in against him. He wants you to commit by telegraphing what you're doing and where you're doing it, so that you can counter with just clutch demos and little boost grabs and little counter attacks. But yeah, Toxiic just didn't walk into any of those traps in game 4, and yeah, game 5 he just got rolling in. Couple of risky plays at the end to attempt to come back, but Retals didn't work. We've got a one-sided game.